Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm back here for the first time this year at the Quartz crystal plate spot to see what I can find once more and to kind of do some future investigations. Looks like there's been a little bit of collapse, but yeah, I'm here to dig more quartz crystals. Hopefully we'll find some bigger ones. That's what I'm hoping for, is are these going to get any bigger? And what I'm kind of wondering is maybe further up the vein of the seam there might be some bigger quartz crystals going on, because what I'm working with here is a seam of quartz crystals. So it's like a vein, but the crystals are growing like this within that. So you can pull off a plate here and get crystals, and pull off another plate on the other side and get crystals. But this vein travels this way horizontally, also vertically. So maybe they're getting bigger further horizontally down this way, or maybe they're going to get bigger deeper down. But either way, that means lots of potential quartz crystals for this spot. For those of you who have not seen this spot, here's kind of what I'm dealing with. This is a sealed off part of the vein with a couple little quartz crystals. That is not what I want. What I want is something like this. So these are things I left behind that I thought were not worth it. Now if you want to see my past videos on this spot, you can check them out here in the corner, as well as the video when I first discovered this spot. So had no idea it was here, so you can watch the video of how I found this exact location and how it worked out. And hopefully it'll continue to progress and we'll get some bigger crystals out of here. I just got off of work a little bit ago, so I'm already tired and a little shaky, need some food, and it's going to be darkened within about 2 hours, so I'm not going to be here very long. So like the first part of the video will be one day, maybe the second half will be the next day, and so on. So we'll see how it goes. Gotta get rid of all this loose collapse material. This isn't easy work, especially after I worked all day. Alright, well, this is where I was working, and I seem to have accidentally created a habitat for wasps and spiders, because they are everywhere down here. But, yeah. So digging a little further this way, it appears that the crystals are starting to pinch out. They're getting smaller, and they're starting to group together so they're not separated. So it might not be good to continue to dig this way. However, it does go further, so it might change. Also goes deeper. Not entirely sure why, but I always seem to lose it on this side, and this is where I usually find the slightly bigger ones. What I'm noticing is, though, we have this really soft, weathered aplite rock, but then right here, we have more of a quartzy version of it. It's like more of the same, but there's more quartz. Looks like there's some more muscovite here too. Almost looks like it's starting to get more of a pegmatite look to it, which might be good. I'm gonna see if I can find where the crystals are heading this way, because I want to know. Here we have, looks like a big hunk of it here. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, see how they're fused together right there? Whole bunch of crystals all interlocking. Those would have been good sized ones too. Decent ones anyways. So here's that zone where the more quartzy aplite is, right? But look right here. Do you see that? There's some tiny crystals right here, which is not where I was expecting them to be. They're running horizontally instead of this way vertically, which is really different. Nice surprise. But let's slowly pull this out here. The other weird thing is I find these rounded rocks in here, which, like, why? Why are there rounded rocks in hard rock? It's kind of confusing. I'm not sure why that is. That's not the first one I found here. If any of you have any explanations, let me know. Oh gosh, okay, here we go. Something's happening right here. Look at that. Slowly gonna dig into this. Oh, look at that. See, we have hard rock all over the place, right? Right here is another rounded stone. what is causing these rounded stones in the rock wall? It's so strange to me because it's hard rock. Why are there rounded stones? Don't know if you're going to see this, but right here we have little mini pockets of crystals. I'm not going to keep that, but it's kind of cool. You can see those running in. But now I got to go through all this soil, make sure there's no bigger crystals hiding. Like this little cluster right here. Look at that, all oxidized, but there's a whole bunch of crystals right there. Pretty cool. Look at that one right there. Really tiny vein, almost threw this way, didn't see it. Gonna have to start looking a little bit more carefully. I need to get my brushes. Let me get that cleaned up a little bit more. There it is. Not bad. Now can they get bigger, please? Alright, back here for day 2 of digging. I've already started, and definitely looks like we might be getting into more coarser material, maybe a pegmatite. I did find a kind of broken, messed up feldspar crystal. So, might be a good sign. So what I think is going on here is we got that one, it should be here, the quartz crystal vein here, and then there's like all this spider webs of veining of quartz. So some of it's hard. Here and there's like little pockets of crystals, but it's really spotty in this area. So I think the main area, or the main vein, I'm hoping continues this way. And of course I still have all this under the floor and in the floor to dig out. See that right there? It's a point sticking out. Whole bunch of points. Hoping this is the start of something, so let's dig this out carefully. Not bad, not what I was hoping for. I thought they were going to be bigger, but a little side vein that I didn't know existed, so see if I can find the rest of it. Alright, so I just found the biggest crystal of this spot yet by far. So I was doing some excavating, trying to get all this loose dirt out of here, and while I was digging into the sidewall, all of a sudden I ripped into this rock, right? I ripped the rock right out of the sidewall, and this is what I found. Yeah, that's a way better crystal than what I've been finding. Unfortunately, it's just a tip. I hope I didn't damage it. I don't think I did. I think that's already been there. Probably how that tip grew. Look at that then. That's way better crystal. Holy smokes. Okay. Too bad it's not clear. It's pretty milky. But that's a crystal. Nice. Now we gotta figure out where this came from. Hopefully there's more of it. So I just washed it off a little bit, and you can see there's some smaller quartz crystals growing on the bigger one. There's a little one in there, but it does have a little bit of clarity at the point. I'm hoping there's a lot more of those. Probably not. Well, I'm excavating further and I'm not finding where it came from. I did find another one of these quartz rocks with some really broken crystals, but I might have realized something which could explain why things are being weird. So earlier I said there was veins shooting off this way. I'm noticing over here it looks like there's some horizontal veining as well, so maybe I've cut into a big horizontal vein here with smaller vertical veins cutting through, like this big one here. So there actually might be a series of veins going this way horizontally. Luckily the rock is pretty deteriorated. I can just use my pick end of the hammer to break right through it. Right here is where I think there might be those horizontal veins, but I'm not seeing it. Hard rock right there. Another one of those round rocks. I'm still really curious about these because, as you can see, this is hard or deteriorated bedrock, and there's rounded pebbles. I got a big one somewhere. Oh yeah, right here. Look at the size of that one. I don't know. It's weird. It's also these. Some of them have kind of this crystal-like shape. I'm not sure if that means anything, but strange. All these rounded and these weird shaped rocks are all appear to be smoky quartz, it looks like, or just some darker variation of quartz. But like, here's another chunk. Some of it's like an intermix of minerals. But anyways, boom. What's weird is I'm finding these big chunks of quartz, but they're all by themselves on this topper layer, like there's nothing here. Interesting. That's weird. Like, if this was part of the vein, you should see the rest of it going through the rock, but it's not there. I wonder if the top layers of the soil were disturbed at one point. Probably, because they did log in here, so maybe that's what's happening. But wonder if you see that big fat one in there? Wonder if I can get that out without breaking it. It looks like it's not completely part of the upper rock, so I'm going to break this and see if I can reveal the bigger one. And it was a success. There it is. Not bad. Definitely milky though. The bigger ones seem to be milky and the smaller ones clear, which is interesting. So I just pulled this piece right out of here. Didn't think it was going to have anything on it. Tiny little black one right there. Here's that one quartz crystal. I decided to clean it off, and man, did it reveal all kinds of hidden little crystals. That's a nice little piece right there. If you look at that, there's little teeny ones. I think that's what you call cactus quartz. All those little tiny ones growing on the bigger one. That's pretty neat. That's pretty much all I've got to show, because all these tiny ones I don't keep. Otherwise I'd have way too many. Like, I just leave these here. I mean, there's some decent ones that I leave behind, but I can always come back later and get them. Just wish I could have found where these were, if there were any more. If there are any more, I should say. But of course, that's how it usually goes. You find something really nice and then you never find it again. And for those of you, or just that one person that thought this was a garnet, I believe, in one of my other videos with this spot, this is not a garnet. Some weird stone. This is exhausting. I need an electric, battery-powered roto hammer. That makes life so much easier. Right now it's just hammer and chisel, and pry bars, and shovel. Pick. Like in the old days. Wouldn't be so bad if it was paying off. This is not turning out how I wanted it to. I hardly have any crystals except for that bigger one. But that one just showed up out of nowhere. That's kind of what most of them have been. It's kind of how it was when I first started here. When I started digging the hole here with Jesse. They just were showing up, didn't know where they were coming from. Then I found the vein here with the crystals, and then now it's been more sporadic. It's interesting because I happened to dig straight down on top of where these crystals seem to have been. As I dig this way, they're disappearing. They're just sealing together into a solid vein. Same with back this way too, turning into a solid vein. And there's these weird other veins that are traveling randomly through the rock. Interesting spot. Anyways, this will do it for this video. Found some decent quartz crystals. A little bigger one. It's always good. Too bad couldn't find more. But it is what it is. There's always the future. We'll find better things eventually, right? Or I will. You guys have to go out on your own and find your own stuff. But anyways, this will do it for today. Hope you all enjoyed this video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.